It is.
Yeah.
The system is completely based on money.
Yeah.
The studio system.
Yeah.
To a degree, I think the way I hook into the system is based on money.
One of the most disturbing problems in our world today is human trafficking, and particularly the trafficking of children. Now, the first step in eradicating this crime is awareness.
And look at Mel Gibson's profile. He dropped a list.
How dare you!
Mel Gibson has been dropping truth bombs about Hollywood for decades. The only problem? Once he started speaking out, he was never allowed back into the so-called inner circle. His role in Sound of Freedom sent shockwaves through the establishment, and just like that, one of the biggest names in film was blacklisted. Turned from star to outcast almost overnight. But here's the twist. The very same dark realities Gibson tried to expose are now echoing in the accusations against Diddy. What looked like just another movie plot is now starting to sound more like a blueprint. Exploitation, corruption, and abuse of power all hiding in plain sight. It wasn't just cinema. It was fiction disguised as documentary. And now, Mel Gibson isn't trying to tell his story through Hollywood scripts anymore. He's taking it to the courts. Sources say he's been quietly building a case with his legal team, gathering evidence he's held on to for years. Evidence that could permanently take Diddy down and maybe shake the entire industry. This isn't some celebrity feud or another tabloid headline. This is the biggest truth teller in Hollywood coming back for retribution against the same system that tried to bury him. And Diddy? He's about to find out. What happens when you go up against someone who's been keeping receipts for decades? The whole house of cards could collapse. The very machine that thrived on secrecy and intimidation is now being threatened by the one man they tried to silence. And here's the kicker. In a 1998 interview, long before any of this was public, Mel Gibson warned about the exact system we're seeing unravel today. And he was terrifyingly accurate.
And I formed a bunch of opinions about the town and about the people in it that were like, surely that couldn't be, because a whole place can't be like, weird town.
No, there have been a lot of obstacles thrown in the way. There's a lot of, what would you call it, poltergeist activity or something, I don't know.
I did a lot of research on it, and according to all the research, it was way worse than that.
No, I'd like to work again, but I'd never been a guy who would sell his soul to get, money or fame.
Back in 1998, Mel Gibson gave an interview that most people brushed off at the time. But when you look at it now, it sounds like he was spelling out the exact blueprint of Hollywood's corruption. He called it the industry's unspoken social promise. According to Mel, there's an unwritten rule in entertainment. The powerful can take advantage of you, they can control you, and if you step out of line, they can even destroy your career, all to protect their own interest. And here's the most chilling part. You're not allowed to be upset about it. You can't question the system. You can't challenge their authority. What Mel was really describing was a protection racket disguised as show business. The elites make the rules, they enforce the rules, and they crush anyone bold enough to break the rules. Sound familiar?
You have to make a deal with everyone else, and it's almost unspoken that you are going to be over at some point by people who you may have done something nice for. And it may happen that by circumstance, or even very purposefully, that you f*** someone over. But that shouldn't get in the way of you being able to sit down and have fun with them.
The number one fear is public humiliation, okay?
Now, the first step in eradicating this crime is awareness. Go see Sound of Freedom.
And I've often felt it. I've sat there, and I have felt the knife slipped firmly in between my shoulder blades and tried to have it shoved through the other side through my heart.
Now let's jump to 2025 and look at where all of this has led. straight to Diddy's alleged racketeering empire. The federal charges paint a disturbing picture: a man using his power, his influence, and his authority to manipulate, extort, and silence anyone who dared to resist. According to investigators, this wasn't just celebrity arrogance. It was a full-blown criminal operation built on violence, deception, and intimidation. And this is where Mel Gibson's old warning suddenly feels like prophecy. Take Lil Rod's lawsuit, for example, a blistering 105-page federal complaint filed by Rodney Lil Rod Jones. In it, he describes the exact same playbook Mel exposed back in 1998. Jones claims Diddy threatened him with violence and total career destruction, while also forcing him to hire escorts and participate in disturbing auditions for Diddy's personal amusement. But here's the twisted part. Diddy didn't just rely on fear. He dangled promises like candy. Jones says he was told the Love album would win a Grammy for Producer of the Year. He was allegedly offered $250,000 to buy every instrument he wanted. He was promised that a $20 million mansion on Miami's Star Island would someday be his. Then, when the promises didn't work, the threats got darker. According to Jones, Diddy once told him he would devour his face if he refused to comply. This is no longer just celebrity gossip. This is the blueprint of control Mel Gibson warned about nearly 3 decades ago, now playing out in real time.
Been working on an album. I took a year off straight working on this album. That album is the Love album, Off the Grid by Diddy. Doing this situation is not easy.
Turned down $50 million 4 times just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right, because P. Diddy be wanting to party. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. T.G. Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
Stars and get offered that kind of thing, like to compromise themselves sexually for entertainment.
I was as shocked as anybody about how powerful Harvey Weinstein was at the time that I was meeting with him, and how he could not be told no. You follow what I'm saying?
They'll figure out some way.
Right, so I thought that didn't apply to me because I don't care about nothing.
According to the lawsuit, Diddy wasn't running this empire alone. His own chief of staff, Christina Coram, is accused of playing the role of enforcer. Every employee on his payroll, from the chefs to the butlers to the housekeepers, was allegedly forced to carry a pouch or fanny pack stocked with drugs. We're talking marijuana edibles, GHB, sea powder, and other substances, all ready on demand. And when Rodney Lil Rod Jones tried to speak up, Coram reportedly brushed it off with a chilling phrase. You know, Sean will be Sean. She allegedly told him that Diddy's constant unwanted touching was just his way of showing affection. But what really takes this from disturbing to horrifying is how deep the network goes. The complaint claims that Diddy leveraged some of the most powerful figures in the music industry to protect his system. Former Motown Records CEO Ethiopia Habtemariam and Universal Music Group CEO Lucian Grange are both named as attendees and funders of multiple Love album listening parties at Diddy's mansion. And here's the kicker. These weren't just music gatherings. According to the suit, sex workers and even minors were present. Even more shocking, it alleges that the drinks at these parties, bottles of Ciroc vodka and De Leon tequila, were often laced, drugging guests without their knowledge. And if that's true, then these top executives weren't just innocent bystanders. They either knew or should have known that they were helping to fuel a predator's empire.
He's having his day.
He's having his day?
He's having his day. We trust the justice system.
Thank you, sir.
God is good.
Ruin my name. And you know what that means? You going up against somebody who got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
I told you can't trust me. Now, Puffy done killed Tupac, man.
Puffy's a sucker.
Diddy's now being accused of perfecting, over the last 2 decades, The very same abuse of power Mel Gibson warned us about back in 1998. The same unwritten law, you can't get mad, you can't question the system, is alleged to have become the backbone of Combs's empire, a culture of fear, intimidation, and silence where victims kept quiet just to protect their careers. Think about that. 26 years ago, Mel Gibson tried to sound the alarm. He exposed the so-called unspoken rules that shield predators and keep victims gagged. And today, with a federal probe circling around Diddy's collapsing empire, that old interview has become a chilling roadmap to understanding how Hollywood's power really works.
Now, I mean, the world's in a pretty bad way. It's been this bad before. It's gonna get that bad again. I mean, we seem to learn a lesson. Stings like a bitch.
Christopher Walken, first time I ever did a casting session in America.
Yeah.
Terrified me.
Me too.
I mean, fucking hell. I came to meet the guy. They said, oh, he's flying in.
He managed to transcend and get above the war. We've always had it. We always will have it.
The accusations against Sean Diddy Combs, both criminal and civil, fit Gibson's prophecy like a puzzle piece snapping into place. Back then, Gibson warned that Hollywood had no real moral compass. Money sets the direction. If morals stand in the way of profit, they're rewritten. But profit will never bend for morals. That is the very principle prosecutors say Diddy lived by, a system fueled by greed, exploitation, and control, one that turned the suffering of others into the foundation of an empire.
And this is the flight where Diddy said to her,
showed her
she
the video,
testified
showed her
that
the freak-off video.
he showed her a video of a freak-off that she participated in and said, if you don't participate in another freak-off when we get to New York, I'm going to put this video out. I'm going to send it to your mother.
And that's coercion,
She testified
if it's true.
to that.
If the jury
they believed her,
yeah,
that's coercion.
That's
they would have
Through Diddy's alleged crimes, Mel Gibson's warnings about industry influence have unfolded in the darkest way possible. Federal charges and civil lawsuits accuse Diddy of using recordings to trap young artists, dangling fame with one hand while using blackmail and fear with the other. The pattern wasn't random. It was calculated. At Bad Boy Records auditions, young performers were reportedly promised the world. I'll make you a star. But behind the scenes, those promises came with a price. Victims were allegedly recorded, their silence secured not by trust, but by fear, facing a devastating choice: lose their dreams or live in financial and psychological chains. And when you really sit with the details, it makes your stomach turn. Texas attorney Tony Busby revealed he's representing more than 120 victims in civil lawsuits, 25 of whom were minors at the time of the alleged abuse. One of the youngest was just 9 years old, taken to a Bad Boy Records audition in New York. According to claims, Sean Combs and his staff swore to the boy and his parents that a record deal was guaranteed. Another victim, just 15, says she was flown to New York for what she thought was an industry party. Instead, she was allegedly deceived, led to a private room, and confronted directly by Mr. Combs. For countless young artists chasing their dreams of music and television careers, what awaited them wasn't mentorship. It was grooming, manipulation, and trauma disguised as opportunity.
And it doesn't take very long, and I'm sure you've experienced this if you've stayed here for any length of time. And this is in the next film I'm going to do, I'm going to try and tackle this question. That there are big